Hey everyone, this is Yarn7 and welcome to my channel updates. It's been a while since I've done anything like this, or even since you've heard my voice in general on this channel. I think the last time that my voice was ever recorded on my YouTube channel was, well, it was in the Final Fantasy VII Emerald Weapon Battle, and that was from my Twitch live stream of Final Fantasy VII that I did about a year ago. Anyway, yeah, I guess I'm back, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna make this a normal thing again to do Let's Plays, but I mean, I will try. I'm gonna, give it a shot. And now, why have I just, randomly decided to come back? Well, yeah, I'm sure you know if you know me well enough and you actually watch some videos on my channel. Um, I have been playing MMOs for about the last 5 years, and um, pretty much, that takes up a lot of my time. And I mean, I do have a lot of free time on my hands. I mean, I could have, done both, but MMOs can be an addiction, and unfortunately, I was very addicted to MMOs ever since Dragon Ball Online. Now, the the last MMO that I played for the last 2 years was Terra, and I made a lot of Terra videos over the a couple years, and um, recently I did quit Terra, and it was not an easy thing to do. I was very addicted to that game, but um, in recent months, I just started the flame started to flicker and eventually die out, you know, and it just got I just didn't see any point in playing another patch. And I've been playing since VM1, and that was the very first patch of the game. um, and I mean, I was new during VM1. I wasn't like fully geared or anything, but it wasn't until VM2 where I actually started getting end game gear and fully enchanting it. And ever since VM halfway through VM2, I've been playing the game nonstop, and I've gotten all the end game gear fully enchanted since till up until VM5. And VM4 was a big strain on me, and I don't know why I'm going into all these Terra technicalities and details. Like, not everyone knows what the game is, and I don't see the point in talking about it in great detail. But um, but what I'm trying to say is getting the end game gear and stuff is it's not free. I mean, it can be free if you sit there for hours on end with no life, like farming gold and materials and whatever. But I chose to take the easy way and farm some stuff, but spend real money on others. And um, I did spend quite a lot of money. Same thing with DBO. I spent a lot of money on that one, but Terra in particular, I spent quite a lot, and I'm not comfortable telling you an exact dollar amount, and I really don't even know the full number, you know. But anyway, yeah, yeah, I want more time to do stuff like this, make YouTube videos and go back to what I was doing before I started, getting into MMOs. And I mean, I'll tell you a few reasons why I quit. The major reason was, you know, the obligations in this game. If you play an MMO as seriously as I did, then you know that you have to always be on the like if you're in a guild, you got to be active, and some guilds are very strict about that. And if you can't just log in, for a week and then take a month off, like you'll probably get G-kicked for that in any guild. And um, another thing is if you're in just like a static group, like doing a dungeon, everyone has to be on at a certain time in order for the static to function. And if one person's not there, then they can't do the dungeon. And it's like, I mean, I wasn't, too into PvE, but I mean, the same kind of works with PvP. Like, if you're going for, if you got a group for threes, everyone's got to be there. I mean, like, yeah, it's just kind of it's the same thing. I mean, not so much with PvP, but But I mean, and you know, for example, if your guild's doing a GVG a certain day, then everyone's got to be on, like you know, at a certain time of night or day to be there, you know, or else you're gonna lose at GVG. And you know, I just felt like, you know, I mean, it's not really asking a lot to be on at a certain time, but I mean, if you have a job like me, I still work at Target now. It's almost been 2 years, and you know, I can't just take a day off of work to be there for a GVG, and then, you know, but I mean, it's really not asking a lot to be active in a guild, like, you know. But anyway, like I said, I'm not gonna go into all the big details about Terra or anything. I'm gonna try not to go any further, but because I mean, I just, you know, if I sat here talking about Terra details and, you know, every single tiny detail why I quit, then we'd be here for 2 hours. But anyway, so there's obligations, and I mean, it's fun to do that stuff, but at the same time, it just kind of takes the fun out of the game if you're making it like an obligation. And another thing was the money. Like I said, I spent a lot of money on the game, and I don't want to spend any more money on virtual items. And you know, if I had continued and gotten my VM5 sets, I probably would have spent probably about as much as I did in VM4. And I was close. Like I almost had all the materials. And anyway, another thing was the drama in that game. I'm just sick of drama. You know, playing a game and worrying about other people's feelings, like not pissing someone off, or you know, the way you act in a guild if someone gets offended, or it's how people look at you. Like, I just want to play a game and have fun. You know, I don't want to worry about someone else's feelings. And so yeah, those were basically the main reasons I quit. But yeah, now it's all done, set in stone. I gave away all my items, all my stuff, and I still have my character, never deleted it. I probably won't be coming back, but that's not to say that I've quit MMOs entirely. I am playing Final Fantasy XI on a private server right now, and I'll tell you right now, that game is great. Now, why am I playing Final Fantasy XI instead of 14? Because I always wanted to play Final Fantasy XI as a kid, but my dad would never wanted to pay a subscription fee or even buy me the PS2 hard drive. Like, and I really wasn't into MMOs back then, because that was back when if you played an MMO you were a nerd. But anyway, I'm kind of joking about that, but yeah, I mean, Final Fantasy XI, it is a bit addicting. I'll tell you that it is a bit addicting, but not to the point where, you know, I'm speeding home from work to get online to do something with a group, or to be active in a guild. Like, there really is no guild in that game. I mean, there's a link shell, but you know, can't really get G kicked from a link shell. But anyway, yeah, it's fun. It's a lot of fun. I'm just treating this game as I'd treat, you know, a console Final Fantasy game. I'm just playing it. You know, it's fun, and you know, it's nice. It's got a more retro MMO feeling to it. It's very cryptic, and it's less convenient than other newer MMOs, and I like that. You know, there's a lot more to do in this game, and there's a lot. I mean, it's more old-fashioned. But anyway, so yeah, I'm still playing an MMO right now, but I'm not too serious about this one, so it's not going to affect my real life. But anyway, yeah, so that's why I'm able to come back now. I have a lot more time now. And yeah. So when am I going to Let's Play? Now, I thought a lot about this, and you know, actually, let me tell you, another thing was that wanted me to get back into Let's Plays is I've been watching, in the last 5 months, I've been watching, you know, some YouTubers, and I'm not going to say their names or anything, but a lot of them are reviewers and are people that, you know, collect games, and I find that stuff really interesting, and it's really inspired me to go back to my roots and, you know, play some retro games that I had from my childhood, and now I'm even kind of become a collector now, and I've been collecting, you know, like NES games and Super Nintendo games, and not so much N64 yet, but and I'll tell you, I've I already had a pretty big collection to start out with because I kept a lot of games from my childhood, and a lot of them in the box as well. But now I'm adding on to that collection, and I've made a bookshelf full of all my games and everything, and it looks pretty awesome. I might make a video about that someday. But I'm mostly focusing on my Super Nintendo collection. Now I'm not going to go into make this into a collection video or anything, but I did pick up a few good games, like Chrono Trigger on the Super Nintendo, complete in the box, and it's in great condition. And yeah, so that's all that right now. But yeah, and then that made me want to watch some of my old Let's Play videos, like after watching all the the retro stuff, and it made me think about my YouTube videos and all the fun I had when I was Let's Playing, and like when I did Final Fantasy Mystic Quest, that was really fun Let's Play, and Dragon Warrior 3, that was a blast as well, and those were really good times in my life, and I don't know why I stopped. I actually had a lot of people commenting on my videos and, private messaging me, and even people thanking me for helping them get past the part they got stuck at. Like this guy watched my Dragon Warrior 3 Let's Play and commented on one of the videos saying, "Hey, oh my God, I've been stuck on this part since I was, 12 years old, and now I know how to get past it. Thanks." That's pretty awesome, and to get a message like that. I'm not acting like I'm popular or anything. Like no one, I'm not really known at all. But here's my chance to get known, but that's not why I'm like really doing it. I'm doing this mostly for fun. But yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking of what could have been. Like I should have kept doing this, but just MMOs ruined it for me. But now I have time. So now, when am I gonna Let's Play? You might be thinking. Now, when I went back to watch my videos, there was one Let's Play in particular that I watched a few videos of and really enjoyed. And that was, this is going to sound really weird, but it was my Final Fantasy VI Let's Play. The one I did it was actually a ROM of Final Fantasy 3 on the Super Nintendo. What we got in America was Final Fantasy 3, not 6, but in Japan, Final Fantasy 3 was Final Fantasy 6. It's really complicated. Not going to get into that, but yeah, I played it on the emulator, and that game it's one of my favorite Final Fantasies, and great Super Nintendo game. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of memories of it as a child, because I mean, it was back when I was too young to remember that one. I never really rented it much as a kid, and I actually wasn't too interested in really big RPGs like that back then. Like maybe Chrono Trigger was one I was really interested in, but that one, I don't want to say Chrono Trigger was an easy game, but it was more straightforward than most JRPGs. But yeah, Final Fantasy VI, great game, and I had a lot of fun Let's Playing that, and unfortunately I never got to finish it. I don't remember why I stopped. Probably because the part that I got to was one of my least favorite parts of the game. I think it was the Veldt, and yeah. But I do have I think another part of the reason was that for some reason that game was really hard to run on my computer back then, back when I was on my laptop, and for some reason it took a lot of resources. Like it being walking around in towns or battles is fine, but on the world map. I think the world map used mode 7, like it made it look like it was 3D or something, but and that just took it made my computer lag. Like it was so laggy on the world map, and that pissed me off, and I pretty much re-optimized my laptop. I almost brought it into Best Buy to get cleaned out or fixed, but I mean that was the first time I learned to disable Arrow on my desktop or whatever, and it was just annoying, and it always bothered my OCD, but I eventually got it working in a passable quality, but yeah, so that is a regret not finishing that Let's Play, and I did a lot of thinking, and I've decided that if I am to come back, the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna finish that Let's Play. yeah, I know that sounds really crazy. To the the video I uploaded in that playlist was probably almost 3 years ago, maybe even more. I don't know. But yeah, I really am eager to get back and play that. Haven't I just also really want an excuse to play that game again, because I mean, I am playing a few. Like, I'm playing my copy of Chrono Trigger on the Super Nintendo right now. I'm almost done with it. I'm playing some. I also got Dragon Warrior 1 and I got Dragon Warrior 1 and 2 on the NES box completes, and I'm playing those too. And I just want an excuse to play Final Fantasy 3. However, if I am going to continue that game, I'm not doing it on the ROM. But I'm not going to start over. I'm not going to start a new save file. But technically, I am starting a new save file. I am going to get to... Actually, first let me tell you. Now, I mentioned I'm a collector now. And the other day I picked up... Or actually, last week I sent away for Final Fantasy 3, complete in the box, in Super Nintendo. And it arrived the other day, and I've been playing it like crazy. And now I am going to get to where I was in the ROM version, and that's where I'm going to continue the Let's Play through my actual Super Nintendo onto my computer with my Elgato Game Capture HD. That's a capture card. And now I know it sounds kind of dumb, because the obviously if you're playing it on the ROM, the quality is like pitch perfect, clean, pristine, but it's not the same. It's artificial to me, and I used to be a big fan of emulators, and I still am. I still like emulators, but now, I mean, if I have the real game, I'd rather, play it on the real system. And I have the actual Final Fantasy 3, so I think it would just be a lot of fun, a really cool idea to just, record Final Fantasy 3 on the actual Super Nintendo. So I'm going to try that, but unfortunately I don't have any Super Nintendo composite cables right now, but I did send away for a really cheap third-party one, and it should be coming in the mail like next week. So I don't know how the quality is going to look on that, and I mean, however, I do have the composite cables for the NES, and I did a quality test, and it should. I did I did a test recording of Dragon Warrior 2 on the NES with the Elgato Game Capture, and it should be playing in this video. The test that I did, it should be, on one of the gameplays I did. I'm not sure which part of the video I have it in, but because I haven't actually edited this video yet from when I'm talking right now. But whatever. But it does look good on the NES. But I mean, it's not perfect. It is a little chopped up a bit, the graphics, but I mean, it's, what do you expect? It's not going to be as perfect as a ROM, but it is passable. It does look good. It's not laggy. There's no frame lag or anything. It's just, it's going through an HDMI, whatever. It's through an HDMI connection, and you're not going to get the best NES or Super, retro. Like you got to play those on a standard TV, not on a HD TV, because it's just better to play retro games on a tube TV. So, but on an HD TV, it's gonna look kind of cruddy, but it's still good. But anyway, but I hope it's the same with the Super Nintendo, but it should be fine. But yeah. So that's what I'm gonna do with my channel now. Now I can't promise when I'm gonna make my first video or a continuation of that Let's Play, but it'll probably be within the next 2 weeks. Hopefully, maybe a week at the earliest. And my voice is dying now. I'm not used to talking this long for it's been like 20 minutes now almost. Yeah, I'm really out of practice with this commentary stuff, and it's really hard for me to get back into this because I don't like hearing my voice on videos, but apparently my voice sounds fine to other people, so whatever. And yeah, I really want to do this again, and hopefully, you know, make it a normal thing again if I can. But if it doesn't work out, then oh well. But if I'll tell you, if I do complete Final Fantasy VI on this channel, then I think I can do other Let's Plays too. But anyway, yeah, I think that's just about it for this video. Anyway, this is Yarn7, and I'll see you next time.